Action Film Autopsy.
Oh,
baby.
oh, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Trailer, man. I just finished watching all the trailers that were premiered at the San Diego Comic-Con, and I am really tired about the end of the world. The end of the world. It's like, you got to save the world. Why do you have to save the world? Just relax, man. Just enjoy yourself. Have a good meal. So in any case,
Could you imagine if that was like in the movie?
I mean, all these trailers that we're showing, the new Game of Thrones, the new Lord of the Rings, the new everything,
Yeah.
John Wick, whatever.
Right,
It's like,
right.
we gotta save the world. What?
Enjoy yourself, man. What
Yeah.
is going on?
Chill.
All you action movie maniacs out there. It's your boy PhatSamuraiGuy back again with another episode of Action Film Autopsy. That's right. With the Kung Fu Santa himself, the legend, Rick Myers. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I was just doing the 5 animal styles. Let's see. There was, there was mantis, and there was tiger, and there was panther, and all.
Dragon. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the dragon is this actually. The dragon.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember. I'm. Oh yeah, monkey style.
Mm-hmm.
That's my and. Oh, that was snake. That wasn't monkey. I was born in the year of the snake. Anyway, enough about that. We got a lot of stuff going on this time.
Oh yes, we got some live action goodies and a whole bunch of animated goodies here tonight. Hold on, we gotta do the roll call.
Oh, yeah.
See who's here hanging out with us. Severia, what's going on? Booyakasha, that's right. Adam, what is going down? Lady Danish, Heather in the house. Eric, Todd Johnson, the Sexy Sumo is in the house.
Oh, hey, baby.
Oh yeah, and Todd Johnson says here, Kung Fu Santa is dope. Oh yeah, I like it. Throwing it up. That's right.
That's right, man.
Ooh, what do you got there?
I'm getting ready because, as usual, I'm going to have a shirt for every movie we talk about.
All right.
You can probably guess what movie we'll be doing first by this shirt.
Yes, let's go ahead and jump right into our first movie.
And
God of War.
God of War, Battle of the Three Kingdoms.
And I have not seen this, but I saw the Haya trailer fight clip teaser, right. And I was enjoying the fight. It was short, but they were showing just like highlights of the fight.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, I gotta see if this is good or bad. Well, that's why we got Rick here.
It's both.
Okay.
It's both.
Okay.
It's actually more good than bad.
Okay.
Haya is showing all this stuff they're getting from TV, Chinese TV and streaming services.
Okay.
So these are actual movies. And God of War, I love the previous God of War movie with Sammo and Vincent Zhao.
Yes, that was good.
Koji Kurata. I thought that was great. So I was looking forward to this one too, because I know about the Battle of the Three Kingdoms. This is another great example of what, this is a cheap China movie, but it looks like it was made for billions. It is absolutely glorious to look at. Huge cast, beautiful costumes, great sets, great props, all the swords, of course. Each sword, I'd like to have each one of these swords in this movie because each of them is individual. The acting is good. It's really sweeping and exciting.
All right.
So I really, really loved it until they started to fight.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
Some of the fight, I would say 35% of the fight, maybe even 40% of the fight is really good.
Okay.
But then that other 60%.
Oh, no.
It's wires. It's
okay.
wires. It's floating people. It's wuxia. The Chinese are much more accustomed to wuxia.
Right.
You guys know, I think most of the audience, most of you watchers know what wuxia is. WUXIA. That's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the floating guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This isn't floating. These are semi-flying, but also it's clear it's being done with wires, but the wires are completely invisible. So these guys look more superhero than suprahero.
Okay.
But I love, let me quote my buddy Kung Fu Panda. I love kung fu. So when they're
Skadoosh.
so what you think? So when and don't misuse skadoosh. Skadoosh always signifies the next step on the road to evolution and enlightenment. It's not just something he says, which we'll get to that because we've got Kung Fu Panda coming up
Okay.
later in the animation. But I love Kung Fu. So when it is balanced, gravity-based Kung Fu,
Hmm.
that's my favorite because that's
Right.
exciting
Hmm.
because these are true artists. And they have some nice gravity-based Kung Fu in this, but they keep jumping to the flying. And I'm going, no, 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 no. Stay with the really cool kung fu. Stay with the really gravity-based stuff. But they don't. So, for a while I'm watching the movie, and again, another great thing about these movies that Haya have on, they're 90 minutes.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
2 hours and a half.
Right.
You get through them and they move along. They have to move along at 90 minutes or less. So, for about 45 minutes after and there's a lot of fights in the movie, I would be doing this. Oh, they're doing wire work. I want to do regular kung fu. Ooh, I'm mad. But then I sort of went, buddy, relax, chill out, enjoy it, because you don't get a lot of kung fu anymore.
Right.
And so
So
lay back. If you're going to be
okay.
screwed, the old tank. Lay back and enjoy it.
So
And
this doesn't even have at least a good balance like the Yuen Wu Ping films, where you have a lot of wire work but really awesome kung fu grounded
no,
fight
if
scenes.
you remember, we'll be talking about the Comic Con, our Kung Fu extravaganza at the Comic Con this Friday.
Right.
On this very same channel. But you remember the trailer, the advanced trailer that you guys showed of the walled in
Yeah.
walled city. Now you saw they were using wires there, but you won't notice the wires in the end because that's Sammo Hung controlling
Right.
the wires. And you
Right.
also mentioned another master, Yuen Wu Ping. Yuen Wu Ping is again, it's kind of like you see a movie with John Travolta dancing, and you can't compare that to Fred Astaire or Gene
Right.
Kelly.
Hmm.
That's the same thing. If you're invoking the name of Yuen Wu Ping and Sammo Hung, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. And the
Right.
guys who do these streaming movies, they're not in that category. They're work for hire. They're craftsmen, but they're not artists like Yuen Wu Ping and Sammo. So again, the wires are not going to be extraordinary. They'll be noticeable. I bet you in Walled In, you won't even notice the wires.
I didn't even notice the wires when I watched the trailer. To be
Yeah,
honest, I was
there you go.
blown. I was just completely blown away with
Yeah,
what I was
so he
looking at.
knows
I was
how
like,
to
oh
do
my
it.
god.
But anyway, we'll also be talking about the Chinese movies that I introduced at the Kung Fu Extravaganza. So if you don't have Haya yet, I can highly recommend it. But again, watch. You won't be wasting your time with God of War. You won't be wasting
Okay.
your time with Unbending Mr. Fong. You won't be wasting your time with Ip Man the Awakening. These are all fun, good movies. So that's it. All right. So
God
that's
of War. God of War. Just a quick question before we
yeah.
move on. God of War 2, was that any good? Because there was a God of War 2,
I
and
don't.
then this movie.
Do you know who was in that one?
No, it wasn't Vincent Zhao. He didn't return. He was just
Oh,
in that
I'll have to.
first one.
Is that on Haya?
I think it might be on
Oh, then
there.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, I was curious about
I'll check it out, and we'll talk about it in the August.
Sure.
In the August.
Sexy Sumo says, Rick, you were missed on the panel, my friend. You guys are awesome, and thanks again for the opportunity to enjoy such a beautiful event.
Awesome. So what do we got now? Oh, we've
All
got
right.
Princess next.
Yes, everyone knows that's Samurai's favorite. I've already talked about it, so let's
Oh,
my
what did you
audience
say?
are
What did you say? What did you say?
what did I say?
Yeah, what did you say?
There was a lot of bad, there was a lot of problems, there was a lot of things I hated. There was some disappointing things, like when the Olga fight at the end was so like, oh, we got to end it, which was like a waste.
Yeah.
But I was more positive about it than Kyle was. I know she did train hard. Joey did for the role, and there were some things I actually did kind of like. Believe it or not, I was
Well,
actually okay with it.
you see,
But I didn't. I gave it a C, Rick. I gave it a C for average.
that's fair because
Okay.
the director he did that movie Fury.
Fury,
We had
right?
a couple of years ago at the
Yeah,
extravaganza.
which I really liked. I liked that.
Well, I had problems with Fury. So I
Okay,
figured, whenever an Asian director comes to America, there's always problems. Because,
right.
the Americans, as Stephen Fung told me when he did Into the Badlands, all they told him to do is make it look cool, not make it look smart, not make it
Mhm.
look effective, not make it look involving, just make it look cool. And I figured that's what would happen to this director as well. But it's a strong female character, and I still felt that the action was flawed and the
Mhm.
movie was flawed, but you
Right.
could do worse.
Yeah.
You're right. C is fair.
Okay.
I might give it a C plus, a C plus for effort, not an A
Right.
for
Right.
effort, a C plus for effort, because she's in there plugging, and
Yeah.
at least it's a step in the right direction.
Right. And believe it or not, I mean, I did enjoy some of the action at the end.
Yeah,
When it seemed like it was weird. It was like by the end of the movie, she seemed a little bit more comfortable
yeah,
with the sword, but early on, she looked awkward. But I wanted to see more Veronica, man. Like,
of course.
okay, come on, man, get some more Veronica in there.
That's the problem
Um,
with with the American versions. They don't balance. It's not,
yes,
I'm the yin yang sign guy, and I want a balance of style and substance. And they just sort of like, again, let's make it simple, let's make it easy. Jet Li was telling me that when they made it their classic kung fu movies, it was 1 week of acting and 3 weeks of fights.
yeah,
In America, it's 3 weeks of acting and 1 week of fights.
mm-hmm.
So of
Yep,
course, it's not going to be as good.
right, right, right. Anything else on the princess before we? What I talked more about it than you did, Rick.
Yeah, because I really don't have a lot to say about it.
Okay,
I
okay,
haven't analyzed it. I watched it in passing. I had a
right,
lot of
right,
work to do this week. I'll tell you the
right.
truth. I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Okay,
I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't see it.
okay, all right.
The only
Well,
thing I just said was a guess.
it was just a guess.
An educated guess, maybe, but a
All
guess.
right. All right. Copy that. But yeah, it's harmless. It's harmless. The other action movie me and Kyle talked about was Interceptor, and I destroyed that. I gave that movie an F.
Okay, I didn't see that. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what that
If
is.
you want to test yourself, Rick, if you want, you can watch Interceptor. But anyway, let's keep on going.
Wait a minute.
Um
Who's in it? Who's in Intercept?
man, I forget her name, but she's Mrs. Hemsworth.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
terrible.
God, I avoided that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
keep
because I
avoiding
heard
it.
that it was just painful.
Yeah, keep
I'll get to another Netflix movie that's painful by the end,
okay. We're warming up to that though,
at
right?
least
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. All right, what's next?
All right, let's go ahead and jump right into Miss Marvel. Now
Oh,
you
wait a minute.
enjoyed.
Are we doing the Marvels first? I thought we were going to save the Marvels to the end.
We could do that. We could do that.
We're going to start with
Let's
the
go
animation.
ahead. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. We have one more live action, but we're going to save that till the end.
Well,
We're gonna.
the Marvels are live action, and the Netflix is
I
live.
meant live action movie. I meant.
All right. So we've
Let's
got. Yeah, go ahead.
let's go ahead and jump into animation here.
All right. Okay, that's a good one to start with. But again, we've got a problem with that one because it doesn't come out till the 29th.
Okay.
I believe neither of us have seen it.
No.
So let's guess. How do you think
Uh,
it's going to be?
it's
All right,
it's
yeah,
it'll
sure.
be it's obviously for kids. It'll be harmless. I don't know. This
Well,
is not something Samurai Guy would see unless I'm really bored and it's free.
I think the names at the top of the poster are the things that will tell you what this will be like.
Okay.
In other words, if you're going to expecting to see Crypto and his friend, you're not going to be seeing Crypto and his friend. You're
Right.
going to be seeing Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart. And
Yeah.
you'll be hearing them, and they probably made up most of their dialogue. And as such,
Probably.
again, we'll see on the basis of the trailer, there was nothing in it that I found particularly funny or
No.
interesting or smart. Of course, it looks like it could be fun for kids, and hopefully it is. And we'll see it eventually when it shows up on whatever, HBO Max, or
HBO Max.
whatever handles Warner Brothers now.
Yeah.
But yeah, my guess is that, I probably will. I'd give it a C, and
Give it a C.
if it has a laugh or two, a C plus. But again, we'll talk about that in the August edition.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
What's the next cartoon?
All right, let's keep it on going here.
Go ahead. Just throw
All right, let's go to.
and I'll put on a shirt. I think
okay if we? Here we go.
Oh, Paws of Fury. Yeah, I do have a shirt for that. Hold on.
The Legend of Hank.
Okay.
Now, before you talk about the movie, Rick, because you have seen this, I have not.
Yeah.
I saw the poster and I was offended.
Yep.
I was immediately offended. I know there's people in here we like, but I was a little offended because I was like, we just had 3. There you go. Represent.
I have the samurai. There we go.
Love it.
Okay, go ahead.
We just had 3 Kung Fu Panda movies
And
that you were involved in,
and a new television show.
right?
So I was only involved in the first Nickelodeon television series and the original movie. I was not involved in the sequels, and I wasn't involved in the television sequels.
Okay.
Netflix also had another Kung Fu Panda series.
But there's tons of movies like this trying to be Kung Fu Panda, but they're like bootleg ripoffs that go
And we'll be
straight to
talking
video.
about another one of them after this.
Yeah. But I saw this, I was like, oh, this is going to theater. Okay. All right, go ahead, Rick. You seen it?
Well, it is. I'm trying to find a perfect word to describe this. When a producer creates something to take advantage of good things that people have liked,
Yeah.
that means they're talking down to their audience. They're saying, we're just going to give you shit because we know you'll accept it.
Right.
And also, since I did work with Kung Fu Panda, and I am Minion Myers, it's a caricature drawn by the co-director of this movie, which we'll get to.
How fun.
So also since I did a lecture for Walt Disney Animation Studio, and I wrote a book on animation, which was killed the week because the company went under the week before. Did I tell you this story? The company went under. I did for 1 week only the World of Exploitation films for this company called New Century. They contracted me to do a book called Cartoon Art: The World of Film Animation, which I finished, and they went to press. They were ready to go onto the press with it. They had all the things ready. And then they put out a book called In Search of Gandhi by Sir Richard Attenborough, which was about the making of Gandhi. And that book did so poorly, it killed the company.
Wow.
The company went under a week before my book was supposed to come out. And so they wouldn't even give me the plates back so I could have it published myself. So in any case, long story short, although that's too late for that now, I love animation. I absolutely love animation. And they do really wonderful work. And we'll be talking about some wonderful animated movies on the show today. Paws of Fury was not one of them. Paws of Fury was a ripoff, it wasn't even an homage. It was a ripoff. And as a person who understands the difference between China and Japan.
Oh, no. They did that?
Well, of course. They're saying they didn't want to call this Kung Fu Dog because that would have been too obvious.
Yeah.
And they said, well, let's take Fist of Fury and just put Paws of Fury because we have dogs and cats. And then, of course, it becomes what I have called several times in these shows, chop sake sui, which means they don't care if it's Japanese, they don't care if it's Chinese. They're just going to do whatever they want because they're just, if you'll excuse the expression, one from column A, one from column B. Again, that's Chinese. That's American Chinese. That phrase, one from column A, one from column B. And that's what they did. And they're supposed to be making a Japanese movie, but they're not. They're making
Wow.
chopped sake sui,
Right.
and also you also knew that all the jokes were easy, and the majority of them seemed to be based on the rear end, farting and naked butts and all that sort of stuff. So this was, I don't know if a kid, somebody said on one of your guys said you gave it a C minus.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm sure it's entertaining enough, but it's insulting. It's
Right.
downgrading. It's insulting the audience by saying you people are stupid. We're just going to give you stupid stuff because
Mhm.
that's what we buy. And for someone like me, it's incredibly insulting.
Right.
It's kind
Right.
of
Right.
like it's kind of like fuck you guys,
It's all the same, Rick. Come on.
fuck you guys. You're talking down to me. You're treating
Right.
me like crap. You don't
Yeah.
care, so I don't care.
Mhm.
And and I should be happy that it's not as bad as it could have been. It wasn't an F, but I'm
Right.
also very, very, very happy it tanked. That
Oh, it did. Really.
it failed at the box office big time.
Oh, wow.
Because I've
Wow.
always said the audience knows. The
Right.
audience is always right. If a movie makes more than 100 million, I want to see that movie to see why. And if it
Yeah.
made less than that, it's because the movie sucks for a
Yep.
variety of reasons. And usually because the producer doesn't give a shit and they're just doing it for the money.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, that's the reaction I expected from Kung Fu Santa. Yeah, I was just like, "Oh God, this is going to be really bad. It's going to be garbage."
It's a good time waster.
Right.
It's not a time killer, it's a time waster.
Right. Right. All right. Let's move on.
What do we got next?
Let's go ahead and jump into this now, since we're
Yeah.
talking about it.
What? All right. Hold on. Changing my shirt. And I don't know if I've worn this shirt on this show before, and I don't know if you've ever seen it because I rarely wear it. Because first I'll show you the front before I put it on. Here's the front, and here's the back.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this is the, this is the original Kung Fu Panda crew shirt.
Oh, okay.
This is the crew shirt for the original Kung Fu Panda movie, which again shows you what a class act those guys are. And they kindly gave me one since I worked on the movie.
That's awesome.
So when I watched Kung Fu Panda, what is it, The Dragon Knight?
Yes. The Dragon Knight.
Here's the deal. The reason that this came back, because they already had another series, there was not a lot of interest in it. It was okay. Wasn't as good as the first and the third movie. I've always felt the second movie sucked. It wasn't as good as the original Nickelodeon TV series. So I figured out we wouldn't see Kung Fu Panda for a while. But then Jack Black had nothing to do. It was the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
He said, "I'll put back," because he didn't do the voices for any of the TV shows until
Right.
this.
Okay.
So you notice that he has a producer credit on this.
Hmm.
This is terrible.
Well, no.
This movie is
Series.
series. You're right.
Yes.
I wish it was a movie because it would have been over in 2 hours. It is, again, Kung Fu Panda 2. I always said it shouldn't have been called Kung Fu Panda. It should have been called Martial Arts Marsupial because there's no Kung Fu in Kung Fu Panda 2. There's no Kung Fu in this.
Hmm.
This should have been Martial Arts Marsupial Dragon Knight. It is, not only is the Kung Fu terrible, but this was a huge surprise to me. The animation was cheap.
Hmm.
I can't say the animation, I can't say, no, I can say I am going to say the animation was terrible because I know I saw the other ones.
Right. Right.
Animation was terrible. Now, something we're going to talk about a little with the upcoming animations, which are better than this one, is that animation is in two basic parts. there's the design, and then there's the animation itself.
Right.
The
Right.
design is how the characters look. And of course, in Kung Fu Panda, they already have the character design. So they didn't have to worry about that. That other character, bring back that picture again. The character on the left is the female partner to, because the Fabulous Five aren't in this.
Really?
It's this new female, whatever she is, Panda.
Mhm.
And if you watch her move in the show, it looks like this was done at home
Oh no.
on a Coleco 64. Let me show you
No.
how she moves. She moves,
Okay.
she moves her hands like this, and then she moves her body like when she walks.
Oh no.
It's like animatics. It's like
Huh.
it's like they took, it's like they ran out of money after they finished the animatics, and they just are showing the animatics. It's
Mm.
very, very close to limited animation.
Wow.
And it was like, I'm going, and then of course, spoiler alert, like you needed me to say that. I'm a living spoiler alert. It also does something which I detest. It ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh,
It-
they're that
Not
confident,
even a
huh?
cliffhanger. Not even a cliffhanger. Just like, oh, we're not done. We'll see you on the sequel. Because I'm Jack Black.
Yeah.
So they'll pay me money to do a sequel to this because it's Netflix.
Wow.
Because what does Netflix care? So it's like, all right, this is incredibly insulting. This not even insulting. This was an insult to Kung Fu Panda. This was, what's the word when this was shameful.
It's a mockery.
Oh yes, this was a mockery of Kung Fu Panda.
We have been bamboozled.
I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. So now let's
So
get into some
so
good stuff.
all the money went to Jack Black and not the animation.
Because usually that's what happens when you see a bad movie and you look at the budget and you go, okay, they pocketed most of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
In any case. And
All right.
he's great. I love him, but this was not a good show.
Not even the Fabulous Five's in there. That's disappointing. Wow.
Because again, from a talking about actors and actors who are now producers, he didn't want anybody to distract from him.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So the Fabulous Five, and they would have cost money. Getting the Fabulous Five,
That's true.
voices, that would have cost money. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
What do we got next?
All right. So we're on a roll here with Paws of Fury and and Kung Fu Panda, the Dragon Knight, offending Rick. That's right. He's not happy.
What's
So
that?
let's get to something that
Won't offend me.
I'm curious.
Yep.
Uh,
I'll be honest with
did this offend Rick? Minions: The Rise of Gru. I hope this is your avatar on Facebook.
Yes, of course it is.
Okay, good.
And also, you were kind enough to send me these. I got T-shirts.
Oh, there you go. That's great. That's
I got a
perfect.
black one and a red one.
Yes.
The Minions Myers T-shirt. So in any case, here's the story. Years ago, I worked with them in 2019. This movie was going to come out in 2020, and then something happened. So I wonder what. And so they delayed it for 2 years. This was a wonderful production. They did it half in LA and they did half in Paris.
Oh wow.
And I kept on saying, send me to the studio in Paris, because they did the majority of the animation in Paris with a French director. They have Illumination, and Universal has an animation studio in France. And so they brought their approach to it. But then the associate producer of the movie got in touch with me. And I said, how'd you find me? And they said, well, somebody from DreamWorks told us about you, because we want to put Kung Fu into the new Minions movie. And I went, why on earth would you want to do that? Because they already did Kung Fu Panda. And they just said, I think we can do it in a way that works very well. And I said, well, So I spent, months and months um, working with them. I have a huge file of material that I sent them.
Oh wow.
They did with it what they wanted, and I didn't get to see the movie until now, and I was very flattered
All
because
right.
unlike Walt Disney, who didn't listen to me for Raya and the Last Dragon and didn't listen to me for the live action Mulan, these guys
Mm.
listened to me.
All right.
These guys listened to me. There were some things over the years. I sent them a lot of clips because they asked me a lot of questions, and I sent them a lot of pictures. I sent them a lot of clips from other movies, which is what I did for Kung Fu Panda as well. But also some very specific things. It's always great to work with a company who is willing to love Kung Fu, but knows nothing about it. Because I said, this is martial arts, this is Kung Fu. And you should be doing Kung Fu because you got the minions. You got the minions. They should be doing minion fu. They should be doing banana fu. They should do what, of course, the two directors changed. The two directors changed my. I wanted to call it. I wanted to call it Gru fu, or I
Uh-huh.
wanted to call it, minion fu or banana fu. They turned it into dumb fu. That works. But again, I pointed out the minions are not dumb. Sometimes they're silly, but they're really not dumb. In fact, yeah, look at Kevin there. Hold on, I got to get you another thing they sent me.
Okay, okay.
Buy now. Bring it back to me. Kung Fu Kevin. Funko Pop has Kung Fu Kevin. And if you look at Kevin in that picture, he is not looking stupid. He's looking
Yeah.
pretty crafty. And also, let's see, who's the one-eyed one on the left? I know their names. It's Bob. It's Kevin. It's not Otto. Otto's the one with braces. But the one-eyed one, Stuart.
Okay.
Stuart does the smartest thing in the movie, and it was something I suggested, and I love to see it. Which was when Madame Chow, voiced by Michelle Yeoh, who was originally going to be a chef, but they changed her into an acupuncturist, hopefully on the basis of my influence. But when she says, break this board with your head, and I understood why they did that. I said, we don't break boards with our heads in Kung Fu. That's martial arts again. But I allowed it because it led to the best Kung Fu joke, I thought, in the movie, which was that Kevin went to try to break the board with his head, and he just kept trying and kept failing. He was banging, 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 banging head of the board, and he wouldn't break it.
Yeah.
And then Stuart comes up and goes, Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. And then looks like he's going to do it himself. Instead, he grabs Kevin and starts banging Kevin on the board again. And I yelled at them, now that's Kung Fu. Exactly right. That's the way a Kung Fu guy would do it. They wouldn't hurt themselves. They'd take someone else and use them to do it. And then they had the beginning of the joke that I suggested to them, which was with Bob, I guess, where Madame Chow discovers that Bob can't be hurt. There's that
Okay.
great sequence in the movie where she starts dropping things on him, and she just
Yeah.
dropping things on him until she drops an entire safe on him, and it opens it up, and he's still fine. And I said, guys, remember, Kung Fu is two things. It's setup and payoff.
Right.
And what I was disappointed in the movie with, but not a lot because it was still a very enjoyable movie, was that they set up that Bob could not be hurt. So they should have paid it off. And I think the place they should have paid it off, and maybe they cut it out of the movie, is that after Madame Chow kicks Kevin,
Okay.
she says, block this kick. And again, I'm telling, Kung Fu is not about blocking. It's not about blocking. But she kicks Kevin, and he goes through a bunch of redwood trees. Then they should have had a moment with Bob.
Yeah. Okay.
Where
Okay.
she kicks him, and her her leg acts like or she dodges. She stops from kicking Bob because she knows what would happen, because her leg would turn into an accordion.
Right.
And then later, of course, when he becomes his animal style, I was hoping again his invulnerability would come into play, but they didn't do it. But that was okay. There was enough that was really enjoyable. The Kung Fu was not A+. Yes, Jake, you're right. It was entertaining. It wasn't as entertaining as it could have been as far as I'm concerned, but they listened to me enough. And of course, I'll never forget the day the director got in touch with the associate producer, and the associate producer asked her to ask me, what should they wear? And I went, the only thing they should wear is the game of death. They should become living bananas. They should become in the living banana foo. They should all be wearing the yellow
track suit,
with the black stripes.
Yeah.
Which is, actually, it's funny. Brad, the co-director, didn't dress me in that. He gave me my master outfit. I'm the master of dumb food.
Right.
I've got to get an outfit like this. It's black with red stripes.
That's great.
I got to get that outfit.
Come on, make Funko Pop.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently you can make your own Funko Pop. Conan O'Brien did that, but I don't think I can afford that.
Yeah.
And I already have Kevin. So Minions, Rise of Gru, and also the rest of the movie, beyond the Kung Fu, was more enjoyable for me, of course, because they had those superhero characters. They had those blaxploitation characters. They had a lot. Yeah. The what were they called? The Sinister Six? What were they called?
I haven't seen the movie.
Something said, it's a great movie. You should say it. And all of those guys are voiced by these wonderful actors. Jean-Claude Van Clam or Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Voiced by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's brilliant.
I mean, it's an enormously fun movie, and they have biker allusions. There's a lot of allusions to all sorts of different movies. And it has great energy and great speed and great. What this movie had that none of the other movies had, animated movies we were talking about, this movie has love. These guys who made this movie love movies.
There you go.
You can tell it by why. And also the animation is glorious. Not as glorious as the last movie we're going to be doing, in the last animated movie we're going to do. Not as glorious as that, but still glorious animation. Are we doing the last animated movie now?
Let's you want that, remember that was part of your yin and yang. So we got to talk about Miss Marvel first, and then we'll get to your yin and yang.
We're going to do the Marvels first? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me put on the Marvel shirt. I'll do the Marvel shirt. I have a bunch of Marvel shirts, so I just chose the closest one, but I have a bunch of every other shirt too.
So last time we spoke, you were very high on the show. You enjoyed the first 3 episodes of Ms. Marvel, and you really, really liked it a lot.
Well, this is
but you didn't want to give your,
final.
Until
I watched
the rest of the episodes came out. So we'll wait till you
put on my Marvel shirt. Hold on, my Marvel shirt.
I need some like. Da-na-na. You
can start over this. Anyway, this is one of my Marvel shirts, so I got the Marvel shirt on. Now,
there you go.
Miss Marvel was a delight. Miss Marvel was, again, there was love involved. You could tell, again, the people who made it, there was love. There was love for Pakistan, Pakistanis. They were opening up the third world. There was love for the characters. There were love for, in other words, keep that picture up.
Okay.
If this was a regular Hollywood production, she would not be starring as Ms. Marvel. The girl to her immediate left would be starring as Ms. Marvel. They would have, a regular studio would have switched the roles. So the, in quotes, and I'm making little in quote motions with my hand, the in quote prettier girl, the sexier girl would have been Ms. Marvel. But they cast it. This whole show was just a love letter to the Middle East, to the Pakistanis, to Indians, all the music, all the design, and her. I mean, she's the most human character who's a superhero that I've seen. You know, Hawkeye is not a superhero. He's a suprahero. She's a superhero, but she's still a human being. And she is a terrific bridge to the problems that Marvel is having nowadays with focus. Since the Infinity Stone saga ended,
Yeah,
Marvel's had a problem with their focus.
I agree.
And so Ms. Marvel is the start, is the human bridge into the Eternals, Shang-Chi, Multiverse of Madness. She's the human character. And again, she's especially great because she's a bookend with America Chavez. If you saw, the Multiverse of Madness, America Chavez should have been introduced the way Ms. Marvel was introduced. But she just shows up, pops in.
Right.
And it's like, no, man, who is this person? But now I know who Ms. Marvel is. And what's great about Ms. Marvel is she goes directly from her series right into the movie, right into the 2023 the Marvels or Ms. Marvel.
Yes. Right.
And so I'm really looking forward to that now because there's a lot of heart. Yeah, that's the word for this show. There's a lot of love in Minions. There's a lot of heart in Ms. Marvel. And I just enjoyed every second of it. And I've watched several episodes. I watched the second to last episode and the last episode twice.
So what happened here when Captain Marvel showed up? What's going on in this sequence?
Well, that's the end credit sequence where they've established that the bracelet, which is apparently either giving Ms. Marvel or allowing Ms. Marvel to bring her own mutantness out by focusing on the bracelet. There is a companion. They established that in the first episode of Ms. Marvel, that there are two of them. There is a yin to the yang, there's a yang to the yin, there's another bookend, there's another shoe. And I believe, especially after this segment, that Ms. Marvel is the one with the other bracelet. So when it comes to life in the end credit sequence, they switch places. So Ms. Marvel may be in the null zone. So so now Captain Marvel has to go and either rescue her or switch back places. She knows that, okay, something's up. She's further along in her education in these bracelets than Ms. Marvel is. So that will lead right to the movie that we have to wait till 2023 to see.
All right, so that's what that was about. Okay, all right. So they're setting it up. They're setting up the universe.
They're setting up the movie,
like that.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sure all you Captain Marvel fans are really excited. Really excited for
doesn't
this.
Matter. Marvel fans are going to go see and going to watch everything. I saw Eternals. I wasn't crazy over it, but I saw it. And when the time comes, I'll see it again because all Marvel movies are better the second time. Every single Marvel movie, and I've seen most of them a second time, they're always better the second time. Because I don't have the expectations. That's another thing to remember.
I can see that. Okay.
The only comparison Marvel has now is to itself. You can compare it to DC if you want to, but it doesn't really fit. Or other superheroes, it doesn't really fit. All Marvel has to do is live up to Endgame at this point. Endgame is where it is.
Yeah.
And so I'm a fan of Endgame. I'm a fan of Marvel, of course. I was there when Marvel was created. I started reading the very first issues of Fantastic Four and Spider-Man.
Man, how exciting.
Threw them away. But in any case, I would be a lot richer now. So I'm going to go see everything they do, no matter what the reviews are. I don't care what the reviews are. I've got Disney Plus. I lectured at Disney. They gave me a deal. So I'm going to watch it all.
There you go.
So I don't care. It's still going to be better than virtually anything Zack Snyder does. I don't care. So in any case,
Copy that. All right. All
it's
right.
still going to be. It's still. They're smart. They're love with the Minions, heart with Miss Marvel. Kevin
Okay.
Feige is smart, and
I
he
heard a
loves
rumor. I
his
heard a
fans.
rumor that he was
He
going
can't
to
be a better
retire.
fan than he is.
Is that true? That he's
What?
going to retire? Kevin Feige. I heard rumors going around that he was going to hang it up and finally
No,
retire.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
he may step back if he's got people to replace him because he wants to do a Star Wars trilogy.
Oh,
He wants to do a Star
really?
Wars movie because Feige, the three Fs. Remember, Disney's three Fs: Filoni, Favreau, and Feige.
Right.
As far as I'm
Right.
concerned, they're the best entertainment directors who are working today.
All right. So there you go. Hopeful. Rick's always hopeful.
Oh, and also looking forward to it. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait. Remember, don't say I can't wait because you can wait. In fact, you're waiting right now. I never say I can't wait. I always say looking forward to it because that's true. Anyway,
There you go. All right.
all right.
All right.
Next
Now it's time for we've gotten right close to the end here. We kind of went through everything pretty quickly today.
Well,
I
yeah.
think our last stream was like almost over 2 hours or something like that. It was pretty long.
Well, I had a lot to say, but then again, these last three, I may have a lot to say. We'll see.
Oh, well, it's just two left. I
Well,
believe.
there's three left.
There's three left?
There's three left.
Oh.
We've got this movie, which is The Sea Beast.
Okay. Oh, let me get the shirt. Bam.
You recognize this shirt?
I have not seen the movie yet.
This isn't The Sea Beast. This is One Piece. This is a Japanese. This is
One Piece.
This is a One Piece, but it's a Pirates Festival shirt.
Gotcha.
So the next movie is about pirates, and that is The Sea Beast.
There we go.
And The Sea Beast. Now, this is the yin yang for Netflix. Sometimes Netflix can be really great because it lets a director do what he wants to do. So if the director wants to do a really good movie like Sea Beast, then he can. So Moana was compromised. Big Hero 6 was compromised. So the director left Disney because the Disney guys always say, Disney is great to its actors. It's not all actors. They're not always as great to their directors. And that's especially true in their animation department. So this director wanted to do a movie that was pure him, and he couldn't do it at Disney. They kept compromising the movies that he did. So he went to Netflix, and he did The Sea Beast. And whatever you think of the plot of Sea Beast is very much Moana. It has a lot of the same themes of nature and the sea that Moana does.
Okay.
The Sea Beast is this director's Moana Unchained, where they don't compromise it. It's what he wants. So whatever you see in that movie, and if you don't like it, it's his fault. It's not Disney's fault. But I can tell you, the animation in The Sea Beast is effing incredible. You know, that's design again. What you're looking for is design. What I'm talking about is the design is quintessential Pixar Disney. It's the animation itself.
It's fluid.
It's beyond fluid. It takes on, you've heard about, the uncanny valley when, you see an animated character and they're not real looking. This is the opposite of the uncanny valley. This is when an animated character is realer than real. Even though they don't look real, they move real.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's an opening action sequence when this character there is an Ahab-like character who's trying to get this sea monster who took his leg. It's right out of Moby Dick. And his first in command, his first officer, goes after it. And that's at the beginning of the movie. I've watched that opening sequence. Well, it's not the opening sequence. The opening sequence starts with the female character, then they go on to the sea. But when he's going after this sea beast to hurt his captain, the animation is extraordinary. some of the
Wow.
best animation I have ever seen.
I was actually tempted to watch this, believe it or not.
Just watch the first part. Just watch
Okay.
up until he gets that creature. It's not the main creature. The sea beast is a completely different creature. But
Right.
main creature, the creature at the beginning episode, watch that animation. Oh my God. It's realer than real. It's extraordinary. And the rest of the movie is fine. It's heartwarming. It's Moana. It's Moby Dick. Yeah, that's the guy who goes after the creature. It has all sorts of things. It's entertaining, but my gosh, the animation. The animation! That shows you what animation is and what it can be. Just incredible. Just great animation. So now
And-
let's go on the other part of
The yang to the yin.
to the end, which is, do I have a shirt?
But
I don't.
by the way, One Piece has
Yeah.
always been suggested to Samurai Guy. People are like, it's great, it's awesome. And I've watched clips from it,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is up my alley. I have
Oh,
a
it's on
feeling.
Netflix.
I have a feeling I'm gonna love this show. And then
Well,
I found out. Then I found out the show was 30,000 episodes in,
I would
and I
start
was
with
like, oh well, that's not gonna happen now.
the movies. That's the problem with anime.
Yeah.
Anime there's so much of it.
Come on, man.
It's just fine. Netflix has some of the One Piece movies.
Okay,
Watch the movies.
I'm not gonna be lost or anything like that.
I don't
Just
think
jump
so.
in. Okay.
If you
All
are,
right.
you let me know.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to watch the show, and then I was like, oh my God. All
And
right,
Onto
here we go.
the opposite end of Netflix.
Yes. So we had the yin, beautiful, fluid
Yeah.
animation, heartwarming, great story, great action set pieces.
Yeah.
And now Rick's Yang, the Gray Man, which I have not seen. I don't know if you saw my trailer reaction. I was
Yeah, what you
excited.
Oh,
I
you're
was excited.
God
You know,
bless.
once they started showing the action and then the cast that's in there, and I like the Russo brothers. I love Winter Soldier, so it's like I was excited because of the cast and seeing some of the action in the trailer, and then right at the I don't know if the reaction everybody busted up because I'm like, yeah, woo, get him, yeah, oh, this is awesome, let's go. And then right at the end when it shows that it's PG-13, I was like, God damn it. I was like, boo. Come on.
Here's the
I
deal.
know.
Here's
But
the deal.
that's Samurai Guy's little hilarious
Yeah,
rant
I'd be
there. But
very.
yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry you didn't see it because I would have loved to have known what you thought about it. I too.
Yeah.
I love Endgame. Endgame is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
That's the Russo brothers. So I figured this was going to be great. I knew the book. I knew the original Gray Man. The original Gray Man book.
Okay.
I'm semi. I can't say why I'm affiliated with the book, but I am in a very distant way. And the book is basically a modern action version of Smiley. The series of Jean Le Carre movies about the normal spy, the spy who's
Okay.
not James Bond. And the reason that the Gray Man is called the Gray Man is that he's the best spy because when he's in a room, no, don't show him. He's not the Gray
Okay.
Man. He's the bland man. He's not the Gray Man.
He's the bland man. Okay.
The good spy should be like Smiley, should be like Harry Palmer from the Harry Palmer movies that Michael Caine played. When he comes in a room, you shouldn't notice him. You should just blend in with the wall. He's gray. He should become gray. So that's what the concept of the book was.
Gotcha. Okay.
So within 20 minutes of this movie starting, I realized that the Russos, I couldn't believe this was a Russo brothers movie because it was as if the Russo brothers saw a book title that they liked or Netflix said, well, here's some of the books that we own that you can make into a movie for us. And they say, hey, The Gray Man, that's an interesting title. Tell you what, let's go. Let's, let me tell you a story that I learned in Hollywood. When I was working at the Twilight Zone in the 1980s, I learned the difference between working in Hollywood and working at home for New York publishers. When I wrote a book, I would bring it into the editor, and the editor would say, well, I don't like that the hero has blue eyes. I think he should have green eyes. And we would discuss it. And then at the end, we'd either compromise or he would win or I would win. And then we would go out to lunch and the editor would pay for the lunch. When I went to Hollywood, and as a creative person, basically everything I create is my child and I give my child. So I gave my child to the publisher. And the publisher said, blue eyes, green eyes, maybe we compromise. When you go to Hollywood and I give them to my child, the producer will look at my child. And then the producer will gut my child, rip out all of the guts, throw them around the room, and then look at me and say, there, isn't that better?
Wow.
And you know what my job is as a screenwriter who's getting Hollywood money? My job is to reply, yes, that's better, in such a convincing way that they don't fire me.
Right.
That's the difference between working in books and working in movies. So now, here we have The Gray Man. Fine book. And the Russos, for some reason, said, let's gut it and let's turn it into an assassination movie.
Your favorite.
You know how much I love those assassination movies.
Your favorite.
The movies where 25 to 40% of the people in the world are hitmen and women. And let's also make it a pod person James Bond. What if James Bond was a pod person on Invasion of the Body Snatchers? And so let's make it big budget and all over the world. And let's go everywhere. And let's, make this the bland man into a soulless James Bond. Because Ryan Gosling, look at his face in that picture. Look, his body seems to be in action. But look at his face. Is his face in action? Go back to the other picture you had. Is his face, is he showing any emotion at all? Is he, look, he's about to kill a bunch of people. Is he showing any emotion? I'm trying to remember the movie I saw him in before. I think it was a space movie. What was it? It was a space movie where he was DOA. He played Neil Armstrong.
Oh shit.
And he played a pod person, Neil Armstrong.
Oh shit. But Rick, Ana de Armas is in it. Come on.
They sort of went, do you want to take this check? Because we want to give you another moment from your James Bond movie. We want to remind everybody that we're doing a pod person James Bond film. And this movie is so infuriating. By the end of this movie, I was enraged. I could not believe how bad this was.
Yeah.
It had all my least favorite cliches. Most of the movie is based on threatening a child. It's all based on threatening a child. And it's also all based on massive amounts of collateral damage. All sorts of innocent people are being killed right and left all the time. There's no emotion. No one cares. Chris Evans is a sociopath, a homicidal sociopath.
Is he a fun villain though? I was looking forward. Okay, I was looking forward to seeing him play this.
He was killing people right and left. He was threatening children. I am done with that. I am sick of that.
Okay.
I want action movies to be revolutionized by me, where people cared again and people use guns and cars the way they're supposed, the way they actually work. I want to get the audience. And the Russos made me care about superheroes. They did. They made me care about no one in this movie. Everybody is a pod person. Everybody is a waste of human space. It is all about awful people doing awful things all the time. And again, the ending of this movie was the final straw. The ending was, they were creating all sorts of emotion in me. And then at the end of the movie, they took me by my beard. They pulled me close to them. They're going to be pulling me close to them. And then they did this. And then they did this. And then they did this. And they did this. And then they did this. This was one of the worst fuck you audience movies
Oh man!
I've seen.
Wow!
This was, fuck you. Maybe because it does something that I already, yeah, it does something I already mentioned that another movie did. But even worse, they do it in a way that makes absolutely no sense. They do not feel the need to explain it in any way. I'm going, how did that just happen? How did that happen? Fuck
Rick,
you. We're not going to tell you.
Rick, you're making me want to watch the movie.
I want you to watch the movie. I wish you had watched the movie. This was, to me, this was worse than Underground 6. Because Underground 6 was, Michael Bay. I expected it on Michael Bay. I didn't expect this of the Russo brothers.
Oh shit!
Who made two of my favorite movies? This was just like, well, we don't give a shit anymore. We're going to collect the money. This is Netflix. So that's the difference between what Netflix can do well if you have a filmmaker who cares, and if you have a filmmaker who doesn't care. This is also what Netflix does. It's the agony and the ecstasy, man.
Wow. Okay, I will ask you this, because you know how I am sometimes.
Yeah.
I like badass movies.
I told you what
is there a shot? Do I have a shot that I might actually like it?
By the way, this is called the action film Autopsy. The action sucks because ultimately it's that same kind of problem I always have with these guys. You could take the fighters' heads and switch them without affecting the fight. They all fight in the exact same way. It's all cut to shit. It's all fast action, and it's not cut to shit. It's cut to it's cut to crap. It's not cut to, it's cut to crap.
Okay.
And and there's a lot of action.
Okay.
And also much of the action is extremely derivative. There's a scene that comes right out of The Living Daylights and Uncharted. They do another one of these things with the cargo plane again. It's the exact same sequence, except now with, Ryan Gosling being a DOA face. We can call him DOA face.
DOA face.
Again, with him showing no emotion whatsoever. So anything he does also doesn't involve any emotion. So I defy you not to find the fights boring by the middle of the movie. To me, they were boring and stupid by the middle of the movie. I go, oh, this again. Again, nobody learns, nobody gets better, nobody gets worse. And in fact, no, that's not true. They do get worse. As the movie goes on, the action gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And the gray man gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. In the final fight scene he's in, it's like, who the hell are you? You're nothing like this character who's been in the rest of the film. Why do you suddenly suck so bad? It was kind of like the fighting in Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
Atomic Blonde, she just fluctuated in her fighting skill from scene to scene. Sometimes she was awesome, sometimes she was terrible. And you felt like they had cut the movie to shreds and thrown it up in the air. And
I'm assuming you didn't like Atomic Blonde.
I didn't love it. I mean, I like again, she kept fluctuating.
Right.
Some of the action scenes were good, but they didn't pay off again. And the movie didn't flow.
Was Atomic Blonde better than The Gray Man?
Yeah. Oh, without question. I'm trying to think of that. Fury wasn't. There was a really good movie. I mean, I liked Black Widow. I didn't love Black Widow, but it certainly was better than Atomic Blonde. I know I am blanking on the great female fight movie. There must be a great female fight movie that I'm blanking on, because I remember thinking, geez, that was great. That was I wish they had. And and she fought like a woman. She fought smart rather than. I know I'll
Yeah.
think of it someday. Or
There's a
maybe
lot of
maybe
movies, so I'm
yeah,
not sure which one you're
maybe I'm
but
thinking
yeah,
of
I
the movie
got you. I
that I
got
did in
you.
my head. But
Yeah.
in any case, so that brings us back to Marvel,
Okay.
unless you want to talk about Gray Man some more.
No, I haven't seen it, so I
He's-
I
I'm
was
telling you,
excited.
you see that movie, and we'll talk about what you thought in the August action film.
If I
Yeah,
get
well,
around to it, we'll see. We'll see. I might review it. We'll see.
yeah, I'd
Uh,
love to hear what you thought. But anyway,
but well,
so now
it was still hilarious hearing your thoughts on it. But that's it. The Gray Man is the last one. I believe
no, it's
that's it.
not. No,
No?
we have
What are we
another
missing?
character from these guys. Did we talk about Thor last time?
Oh my god, I completely forgot about Thor.
You completely forgot
I
about Thor,
completely forgot about Thor Love and Blunder. I'm sorry. All right.
but
All
you already
right.
reviewed that,
I
right?
already did. My audience already knows what I think, but they're here to hear what
What's the
Uncle
marking you
Santa
gave
has.
it?
Hmm?
What's the mark? What's the mark you gave it?
Um, just like how quickly I forgot the movie, I actually forgot what I gave it, to be honest. I didn't give it an F.
No, it doesn't.
I think I gave it a D or D
Really?
minus or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Go ahead.
I would love to see. I'm waiting to see Thor: Love and Thunder the second time,
Okay.
because in the first time it was very clear to me that this is not the movie that that Taika wanted to make. The
It's
movie
not?
Taika wanted to make is the 4-hour one. The one that Taika wanted to make
Oh.
was the
Okay.
was 3 movies in one. In other words, he should have done at least, I would say, 3 45-minute movies. It should have been a 2 hour and 50. Was it a 2 hour and 15-minute movie? But I
Yeah.
had too much
It
fun
was. It was.
because it should have been longer. Because it was clear that we had a Guardians of the Galaxy film,
Mhm.
we had a Thor film, and we had a Gore film. We had a Thor and
Right.
a Gore film.
Right.
So we had 3 films. We had Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy, followed by Gore getting his revenge, killing a bunch of gods. And
Mhm.
then we had a Thor and Jane movie.
Yeah.
That's not what I saw. I saw
Right.
part of Guardians. I saw virtually nothing of Gore, and
Right.
mostly it was a comedy. And also, these were 3 different movies with 3 different tones.
Right.
Although the bookends were comedy.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy and the Thor and Jane movie were comedies, and Gore was human suffering and torture and killing.
Right.
So obviously, when Marvel saw the 4-hour cut, they went, "Oh, we can't release this. Well, we can't." The, the the audience will be getting whiplash going from segment to segment. You go from Guardians of the Galaxy to Gore, and then you go from Gore to Thor and Jane, and it's like,
Right.
you're going to get whiplash. So let's do what we can to cut it into a reasonable shape. And so that's the term I would use. I would give it a B at best.
Okay.
It's a reasonable movie. It's an entertaining movie. It's an interesting movie. It is not successful, widely successful. It
It's
doesn't
not?
work.
It wasn't a big hit? Or are you just talking about the movie in
No, it
general?
was a big hit. I mean, because what's wonderful about Taika is that at least he makes a Taika Waititi movie, and he's loved all over the world, and people will see it for what they want to see it.
Mhm.
And he's a New Zealand filmmaker, so it wasn't from.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Taika. I
Yeah.
love What We Do in the Shadows.
So again,
But
I'm looking forward to
yeah.
seeing. And also, have you seen Our Flag Means Death?
Yes.
Yeah,
We're enjoying that too.
that
Yeah.
was him as well. So that's why I want to see it again, so I can relax now and I can just see it for
Okay.
what it is, and I can see
Yeah.
what he did and the smarts behind what he did. Because I had an issue.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the end of Our Flag Means Death yet, have you?
No. No, not yet.
Let's talk about that after you've seen the end of it.
Okay. Okay.
It's the same kind of thing where you have to go, hmm,
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
tonal shifts, tonal shifts.
Right.
Oh, that's it now. Now
So
we're
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be in the theater. Majority of the casual audience doesn't want to be in the theater past 4 hours. I totally get it. I get that. But for me, if it actually made the movie better and we got more scenes with gore and showing him actually doing god butchering, which is what I thought I was going to see, I personally wouldn't have mind. I don't mind the length, but everyone's different. So
No,
I
would
get
be
it.
happy if this was as long as Zack's Justice League. If it was 3 hours, I'd have no problem.
Yeah.
And also, what was the other one that I saw? Oh, the Batman. The Batman.
Right.
So I think Marvel just said we don't want to be like DC. We want
Right.
it to have reasonable length. And also the tone shifts are too strong. The one thing about Justice League and the Batman, there was no tone shifts in those. Those
Right.
were all just no. Those were all just down tone.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they had an interesting situation, and again they're having focus issues.
Right.
They're
Well,
and this
hopefully
one of their
they start focusing. Hopefully. So,
tighten
but
up the focus.
right. Well, another great episode. Hey, we actually ended at a good time today. We didn't go to two and a half hours.
Hey man, with me it's always worth it.
That's right. It's always worth it. But sometimes I feel like when we go too long that I'm keeping you. like gotta wrap it up. Rick has things to do.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I have a bug to hunt down at the moment, but no, I love doing this. And since I'm not doing it every week or every twice a month anymore,
Yeah.
I love talking. As you can tell, I love talking about this stuff, and this is my best opportunity because it's our action film autopsy.
Yes.
So
those of you that have just arrived, go support Rick in the Rise of Gru, baby.
Don't
That's
worry
right.
about it.
Go ahead and check out Minions.
It's way ahead. It's way ahead of all the animated movies that are out now. It's already gotten beyond 600 million worldwide.
Yes.
It had the best July 4th opening in the history of film, not just animated film.
Right.
So don't worry.
But you got me. I actually I think I'm gonna watch Sea Beast with the missus. I want to check it out.
First half hour at the very least.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
And then
All right, guys.
again.
All right, guys. Thank all of you for watching, all the badasses. Don't forget, guys, this Friday, we're going to have the Kung Fu Extravaganza Comic-Con recap episode.
Recap and playlist.
Yes, we're gonna show some clips and some trailers and have some fun. That's right. And you guys gotta make it. You gotta be there this Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Who's that guy in the red mohawk there? They let that guy in? That guy's insane. But yeah, make sure you guys are there to hang out with us. You guys are always awesome. That's right. Follow Rick. That's right. I put some information in the description box below of the video as always to keep up with Rick. Always hilarious, always fun. And that's right. Keep supporting the future of Marvel.
We'll see him. Guess what I bought yesterday? I bought a Phat Samurai shirt. I bought it. I didn't even ask for a freebie. I wanted it. After seeing him on the Kung Fu Extravaganza, I had to show my love.
Well, I appreciate
he was so
it.
Awesome. He was
Thank
so
you, brother.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for showing support.
I bow to you, sir. I bow to
you. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Rick, don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys at the next one. Take care.